Hey everyone, and welcome to Canon and Plot Hole's first episode of Stuff Explained. Today I'm going to talk about Farscape. Going to go through basic plot points and some cool stuff that I know about it. Mostly off the top of my head, I have a list here of character names because my brain is crap. But let's give it a shot. So, Farscape. What is it? It's a sci-fi show with Ben Browder and Claudia Black as the lead characters. You might know them from Stargate if you haven't watched Farscape before, but they were on Farscape first and then moved to Stargate. And honestly, last two seasons of Stargate, is that not just Farscape Part 2? Anyways, Farscape starts out with John Crichton, who is a normal human who's an astronaut for the IASA, I think. International Space Agency or something like that, or ISA, I think it was. He basically figured out a way to slingshot around the Earth to speed up his space vehicle. It ended up falling into a wormhole. I don't exactly remember if the wormhole was generated by him or was opened for him to put him on a path to become the wormhole guy. Basically, from that point, he is transported to a different region of space, I think a different galaxy altogether. But I think towards the middle end of the series, they've established that it's in the Milky Way galaxy. He's just in a different part. But he lands in the middle of a battle between peacekeepers and a living ship called Moya. Moya is a prison ship for the peacekeepers. And there are a few felons on board, a few criminals on board, who a few of them feel wrongly imprisoned, a few of them were wrongly imprisoned. One of them feels she was rightfully imprisoned. But essentially, they're all trying to escape the peacekeepers because, well, they're horrible. They're dictators, they're fascists, what have you. And Crichton gets involved. They bring him on the ship. They put a little thingy inside of him, and it's like a babblefish from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. And basically, he begins to understand them. He helps them get away, and the chase ensues. Right after Crichton came out of the wormhole, he accidentally killed Bylar Crace's brother. Bylar Crace is a general in the Peacekeeper Army, and he essentially goes after Michael Crichton. John Crichton. Michael Crichton is a book writer. John Crichton. Jeez, Seth, come on. So, John Crichton kills Crace's brother. Crace chases after John Crichton. That's a good, from what I remember, good chunk of all of the seasons. While Bylar Crace is chasing John Crichton and the felons, he's mostly just chasing John. Peacekeeper named Aaron Soon becomes irrevocably contaminated by John Crichton and essentially becomes a fugitive herself, joining the team or joining the crew of Moya, much to her behest. But she eventually becomes one of the crew. She realizes that the peacekeepers are fascist, and she was a fascist, and even though she still wants to go back, she realizes that she needs to help these people and, well, herself in the process. She essentially has no home to go to. There's some really cool episodes where they get like a cool little gauntlet that goes on their arm that fires blasts and stuff. They meet some really cool characters along the way. Chiana comes on pretty quickly. Her and Dargo end up getting married. Pilot, who is interconnected with the ship Moya. The Moya is her own entity, but she needs another being, a pilot, and that's what they're called, pilot, to help regulate her and help her fly, help her do her thing. Through the episodes, she gets pregnant. She has a baby named Talon. Talon bonds with Aaron Soon, but eventually joins Bylar Crace. I don't remember. The end of the series is always a little hazy for me because I just don't know why, but I don't remember what happens to Talon. They meet a new bad guy. I feel that They felt Bylar was a little too middle of the road, normal bad guy. Scorpius was a Scorvian, right? Yeah, Scorvian. And he was half Scorvian, half Peacekeeper. So Peacekeepers, one of their problems is they can't regulate their own body heat. They're cold-blooded, essentially. And Scorvians aren't. So he has this little thing in the side of his head that comes out that has a little crystal that keeps his body cool. That comes into play a couple times. Scorpius, by the way, starts chasing after John Crichton, mainly because John Crichton has the wormhole information in his head, not only from opening or having the wormhole opened for him in the first season, in the first episode, but because he met an alien race that was looking for a home, and unfortunately they tested Crichton and they didn't feel like Earth was a home for them yet, or ever, but they ended up subconsciously giving John Crichton information about wormholes that he could eventually unlock and become a being like them. Through an episode where they're trying to get information on, I don't remember exactly. Basically, they're infiltrating a Peacekeeper base, and Scorpius gets a hold of John Crichton and puts him in this chair that lets him see John Crichton's memories. Well, he finds the hidden information and starts looking at it, and John Crichton escapes with Stark. That's when, what's his full name? I think it was just Stark. Stykera? Oh, he's a Stykera. But Stark. Stark himself helps Crichton escape with Aaron's help. I mean, it's very complicated. You really need to watch the episode. And from that point on, Scorpius is chasing John Crichton. He captures John Crichton, I think, once or twice and gets some more information. John Crichton does eventually learn to open and control wormholes, if I remember right. The season, I believe, ended pretty abruptly, and I apologize. I honestly don't want to spoil it for anyone anyways, but I don't remember the whole end of the season, end of the series, but I do remember that they put out a movie called The Peacekeeper Wars where they had a baby and Aaron was assumed killed and all this other cool stuff. I think it's the first time that a science fiction show was brought back for anything besides a movie. Besides a theatrical movie. Farscape was out and out canceled by Sci-Fi, and through unlike like Star Trek where they came out with movies because they wanted to make money, it was a fan campaign that ultimately got everyone involved with Farscape to want to make a movie, and Ben Browder and everyone got on board and was all okay with it. One character I want to talk on is Cardargo. And he's a very interesting character. He's a big dude who, when he bleeds, you have to make him bleed more so that he doesn't get poisoned by his own blood. They find his son. His son does some stupid stuff, and he does some stupid stuff with his son. Like I said, he marries Chiana, who shows up. One character that showed up that was interesting when Scorpius showed up was Sikozu. She has the ability to change her center of gravity so she can like walk on the ceiling and stuff. That was pretty cool. And unfortunately, that's all I can really remember. I'll do an in-depth like canon review and whatnot, but I want to do these episodes to see how well my brain remembers this stuff. And then when I go back and do a full canon review or like full series review, see how much I actually remembered and how much I got wrong. Feel free in the comments to tell me how much I got wrong. I'm more than happy to learn. Keep in mind, I've watched the series 2 or 3 times. The last time I watched it was like 3 years ago. So I'm not entirely sure I'm even right on some of the stuff. But again, let me know in the comments. If you like this, please like the video and subscribe. Otherwise, I'll talk to you guys next time.